Hi, welcome back. So this week I have no special offers, but I'm not usually very quick to sort of reorganize the offers from week to week. So if you check on my services page, there might be some offers that we still haven't edited. So yeah, for administrative reasons, there might still be some offers there that we just forgot to change. I want to be honest with you, this week has been really, really tough. It's taken a lot for me to sit here and do this. My health is acting up. I've been really, really vulnerable. But it means a lot to me to do this. I really try my best to be here and do this, but it's this week has been super hard. So please bear with me if it's not, if I don't have the same energy that I would like to have. But also, your support means a lot. And that's one of the motivations for me personally to be in touch with you guys. Yeah. But just so you know, I'm super vulnerable. So, gonna try not to cry. Okay, so we have first of all, I want to say Bahar sends her regards. We're really trying with the time difference, but she sends her regards. And she also sent in a question because, as you know, she's in California now. And apparently, the abortion issue is a hot topic in the United States right now. And I know that many of you are in the United States. And so, even if you're not, this is an interesting topic. And I, as a woman, have my personal opinions on that. And I want to be very open with the fact that I believe that that is a choice for every woman to make for herself. I don't believe in the government deciding what a woman should do with her body. To me, I want to be very clear with what my personal opinions are so that when spirit speaks, they get to have their own say. But I want to make it clear because I, um, I do think it's a very, the being against abortion, as in every case, or having a stance against abortion, I feel comes from a sexist and patriarchal point of view rather than a pro-life point of view. Because I think if you are pro-life, then women's lives should matter too. And I think that, I think that people that debate these things don't always know what it takes to be a mother and what it takes to give birth. And I think if they knew, maybe they would have more respect for it, and maybe they would allow goddesses that create life to make their own decisions. However, I will let spirit speak on this, but I couldn't do without saying how I feel on this topic. And granted, I'm human, I'm subjective, I am also influenced by the cultures I grew up in, the cultures I'm influenced by. And so this point of view is quite standard where I live in my current culture here in Sweden. And so perhaps I'm biased. Who knows? Maybe there are points that I've missed. I don't know. I will let spirit speak on that. But I do want to be very transparent with the fact that I do have strong opinions on this. I have people very, very close to me that have a very different stance on this. Want to make that clear as well. So I do respect anybody's point of view, but got to be real about the fact that I'm a woman myself, I'm a mother myself, and so I do have my personal opinions on some of these things. So abortion is the first question. Let's start with that. Okay, so question should we allow abortion? Should we allow for abortion? In some societies, you should. But in some societies, it would be in your interest not to. Not because we have any judgment on it, but because in certain cultures or in certain states, that would be the more beneficial way of being, way of keeping the culture. And so we do not judge. However, we recognize that this is an important subject for you. And what you are missing when you are butting heads in this topic is that those that oppose abortion tend to generally come from a very idealistic point of view, and their intention is to preserve the sanctity of families. You may sometimes misunderstand them, and in your fears, you interpret their point of view as them restricting your freedom, holding you hostage, and keeping you imprisoned in the role of motherhood, restricting your freedom to be anything but a mother. So first you must recognize that those that oppose abortion do it with good intentions. Their intentions are generally pure. Okay, but I have to question this. What about those? Aren't there, because this is I just want to challenge this question because I want to find out, isn't it the case that sometimes it's just some middle-aged men that just want women to just stay at home making babies? Is that not the case for some of these people? Not intentionally. These men that you may perceive in that way, that's not their intention. Although they are quite ignorant as to why abortion might sometimes be necessary and in the best interest of the woman and the entire family, these men tend to not have the full picture, not understand all of the factors involved. Their main motivation tends to be, although it doesn't seem that way, their main motivation is to preserve the sanctity of motherhood. Their intention is to preserve the beauty in being a mother, and they are quite upset at the fact that women nowadays tend not to hold motherhood in such a high regard, that they may not want to become mothers. From their point of view, it is as though all that is sacred is being removed. To them, motherhood is sacred and it's beautiful, and they do not understand why women would not want to be in that position. from those who want the freedom to have abortions if needed, they tend to be more pragmatic in general. They tend to be more practical and realistic in their point of view. To them, this matter is not a matter of ideals and hopes and wishes, but rather about practical concerns. Some of them are idealistic, some of them are not, but the reason for wanting the freedom of abortion, their reasons tend to be practical, that in order to be enough for your family, for your work, and all the things that are required of you, you cannot be powerless as to the matters of family planning. You must have some level of personal choice as to the living standards of your existing children and the work you need to do to support these children. Okay. Seems to be a more complicated issue than I thought. But the gist of it is that those that want the freedom for abortion, they come from more of a practical concern. It's not, there are practical reasons why it may not be in your best interest or in the best interest of the family to have another child. And those that want that are pro-life, or I don't want to call it pro-life, I want to call it those who do not want to allow for abortions. It's very interesting how that confusion happened. Anyway, they come from a more idealistic standpoint and are not usually considering the practical implications of things, or the pragmatic side of things. But I feel like there's more to this. Okay, so Spirit said some communities do better with abortion and some do better without. And I want to understand why and what are the reasons why it may be better to have that freedom or not have that freedom. Societies that are more idealistic in nature can have a ban on abortion because the culture in general is more idealistic and compassionate and will, in that way, serve as a protective field around mothers in general. And so it is a more conducive society for mothers in general. There is more of a respect for motherhood. Societies where there is little respect and regard for motherhood, where it is hard being a mother, where the specific challenges of motherhood are not recognized and are not given any empathy, compassion, or consideration. In those societies, they do better having the freedom of abortion. The challenge for you is that when you are in a society, such as you as a channel, when you live in a society where there is no regard for motherhood, there is no respect for the demands of the motherhood, there are no concessions made for mothers. When you are in such an environment and you are feeling as though you are forced to be a mother if you don't have the choice of abortion, then it would be just another confirmation about how your society does not care about mothers and your vulnerability as a mother. And that is why you struggle to understand those in other societies where motherhood is highly regarded, is respected, is valued, where mothers are treated with respect, consideration, compassion, kindness, and softness and gentleness. And so you don't see how your circumstances are different. And perhaps if you were to live in such a softer society, you would feel different about the prospects of having children, because that would make your situation different as a mother. And so what we want to convey to you is that please understand that regardless of people's opinions, they have good reason to believe what they believe and to feel what they feel. They are not attacking you. They are not attacking your values. They do not want to remove what is sacred to you. They do not want to restrict your freedom. People just find what is most true from their point of view, from their vantage point. So if they come to a different conclusion than you, perhaps their vantage point is quite different than it is for you. And yes, even in those cases that are often used as examples in your society where perhaps a young girl became a mother as a result of a rape, even in such a situation, in a society that is soft and gentle on her and respects her as a mother, respects her vulnerability, perhaps she would do better than in a society where she was allowed an abortion, but a society that was generally harsh on women. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that it's really also about, gender roles or expectations for genders. So what I was seeing with the different societies were that, like, being a woman is more difficult in some cultures than it is in others. So more conservative societies tend to be easier for women, although they have less freedom, it might appear to some of us, to those of us that live in societies where women have all the freedoms. But in conservative cultures, it seems that women are more cushioned and more cared for, more respected in their femininity, in their vulnerability as women. They're recognized for having certain needs, whereas in society such as where I live, I was shown it is more a colder society where everyone is expected to be like robotic and tough. And so there is no regard for the needs of a mother or the needs of women in general. We're not recognized as being different in any kind of way. We're just living in a man's world expecting to be like men. That's what I was seeing. I want to get Spirit's take on that. What do you think? Because I know that this, I mean, especially in my culture here in Sweden, this would be super controversial, really controversial, because, you know, this is the belief that this is the best, that we should all, you know, here, equality means being the same. That's a very strong belief here. I don't quite agree that equality means we have to be the same. I believe that we have the same value, although we should be allowed to be different in whatever way we need to be. But okay, let me get Spirit's take on this. There are benefits to both types of societies, those where gender roles are more clear and those where gender roles are more fluid. There are benefits to both, and there is no one system that is higher than another, although you would like to believe that your particular system is the best. You need both. If you did not need both, you would not have both. Whatever you have currently in your world is a reflection of the state of mind of your collective and what your needs are. When you are ready for something different, for something more, then you will have that. If you have both types of systems, that means you need both. Mm. Mm. That's interesting. That is interesting. So no clear answer on what's the best, but rather we need both. That's interesting. Wow. Well, now we know. Okay. Next question is, I hope this helped. I know this is a really hot topic, but I thought it was helpful for me to know that, you know, I had a very strong belief that there are some men out there that just want to, you know, imprison women into like never ending childbirth cycles. Um, that was my genuine belief. I feel differently now. So, good question. Next question is, what is the best way to pray for, I guess, for it to be, for the prayer to come true or something? What's the best way to pray? To release it. Paint a picture of what you want and speak from your heart. You must speak from your heart, not your mind. You must speak that you are authentic from your heart. And then release it to the stars, to God, to the universe. Release it. Do not check on whether it's coming or not. Just release it. That is the best way. And know that because you spoke from your heart, the message is received. And if it is in your best interest, if it's truly what you want, if it won't interfere with other things that you might want more, then it will come. It will happen. If it does not happen, it is because either you did not speak from your heart, and so it's not what you truly wanted, or you wanted something else more that opposed that particular wish. If you have two wishes that oppose each other, then the one that you want most will come true as long as you release it. You release it. So some detachment is required there, it seems. Next question is, does salt absorb negative energy? You know how salt is a big part of a lot of rituals, protection rituals, um, has an important function in our body too. So does salt absorb negative energy? Salt is crystallized. What is it in crystallized form? Hmm, not really getting this, but it's something unexpected. Okay, salt, what is it? Salt can trap energy in water. The energies that are in water, salt can contain. Because when it's in water, it is fluid, it can come and go. But when you add salt to it, it will crystallize it and limit its movement. And so, yes, if you add salt to your foot bath, then the negative energy from your body will be drawn out and contained in the salt. And yes, it will absorb negative energy. But then remember that the energy will be contained in the salt, and so you must discard the salt. Do not keep salt around that has absorbed negative energy. Okay, does that go for just in water, or does it go for also in the open air? Like, water makes it more effective. With water, that process is faster. It can absorb all the negative energy in water. In the air, it is limited. Okay, so what about salt in our bodies? What does that do? Because you know how it affects blood pressure, I believe. I have very low blood pressure, and so I need to like take extra salt. So, what's the function of salt in the body? Um, Maintaining some emotional stability. You would be very fluid without it in your body. Oh, that's how I am. That's why I'm low on salt. I love it when I have these epiphanies. Don't you guys love it? Okay, so when I take more salt, I become more emotionally stable. Oh my God. That's good to know. So if we're feeling like emotional someday, is it good to drink salt water? Like add salt to some water, drink that? Yes, you will find a balance pretty quickly. Oh my God. Wow, I'm gonna try that today. Let me know. You try, some of you, if you try it, let me know your results. I'm gonna try that today. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm gonna try that because you know me, well, you might not know, but me and my emotions are they're free flowing. Let's just put it that way. Um, let's see. Where was I? Salt in the water. Okay, so what about high blood pressure when you have too much salt? What about that? That means you're containing your emotions too much and you're not allowing the free flow. So the best is some form of balance. Wow. I feel like I have more questions on that, but I'm just blown away for now, so I'm gonna just move on. Salt and okay, so salt stabilizes emotions. Wow, excuse me, I am so blown away. This is so awesome. I'm gonna try this because without it, you feel very fluid. I feel like really like all over the place, which is good for channeling. But in real life, it can be a bit of a weird thing. Okay, okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna try and. Okay, is feng shui real? Who's into feng shui? I'm into feng shui. I don't know much about it. Haven't done much on it, but I do believe in it. So that's want to be transparent about that too. Let's see, is feng shui real? Yes, but there is also some cultural superstition added to it. So there are parts that are more to do with cultural superstition rather than the flow of energy in a room, in a space. But yes, there is the foundation of it. The basis of feng shui is absolutely true. And what it should give people is the awareness that there is a flow of energy and that you must keep that in mind in your home. You don't need to know the details. Just have the awareness of how your energy flows in your home. If you have a room that feels stagnant, it is likely because the flow of energy, there is no natural flow of energy in there. I'm being shown my wardrobe, my walk-in wardrobe closet. Um, Energy goes in, but it cannot flow out in a natural way. Okay, so what can we do if we have rooms where there's no natural flow of energy? Rearrange furniture, rearrange what is in the room. Keep openness, open spaces in the room. Do not have a cluttered room. Do not have a cluttered room. Openness. If something is in the way, something is unnecessary, it will block the flow. The more you create open spaces, the more you are allowing in, the more you are filling up your space with unnecessary things, the more you are keeping out the new flow of energy. Yes, feng shui works. You do not need to know the details of it. You just need to know that there is a flow of energy. And the key is to not clutter your homes. Get rid of anything that you do not need. Get rid of the things that you do not need. Okay, but what about, because I find that it's difficult to sort of get rid of things that I don't need because I have a lot of Cancer in my chart, but also the Taurus in my chart, but also, but also because you don't really know if you're going to need something, right? I might need something. I don't use it right now, but I might need it, you know, or it means something to me or has some memories attached to it. So how do we know when to get rid of something? If it's old energy, get rid of it. If it's something that you want to bring with you into your future, keep it if it will be useful to you. If it will not be useful to you and it's old energy, doesn't have to be bad energy, But if it's old energy, if it's from a time where you were someone that you're not anymore, if you do not want to go back to that time and you're not going to use this again, get rid of it. Okay, if you're not going to use it again, and it's from a time that you don't want to go back to, get rid of it. But what if you are going to use it again? How do you know if you're going to use it again? How do you feel when you see it? Do you feel a lowering or restricting of your energy? Some things, especially if they're new, if we just bought it, if we bought it with love and excitement, we feel excited and uplifted when we see it. We feel happy when we see it, when we hold it. Even if we're not using it, we feel excited about it. Old things from a time when we were different, when we see it, we might feel smaller or limited. We might... Okay, so what about the things that we feel bad about when we see it? If there are things that give us bad memories, then those you should absolutely remove. You should absolutely remove those. Oh, wow, I feel like I need to do this. Wow. Okay, enough on that topic. I feel like I definitely need to do this. Gonna have to re-listen to this so I remember the principles. And then I need to throw away a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Oh my God. But what I'm seeing also is that, like, when you get rid of stuff, you're opening up the energy to receive more. So you will find that new things can come in that uplift you. So I just want to convey that when you're throwing out things that are somewhat useful but have bad energy, you are bringing in new things. Like, you're creating the space, you're opening up to receive more. So you will find that just by removing things, new things will come in quite easily and by themselves. So that's something to be aware of. Okay, next question is, does using the pendulum work? I think that's the first thing I started with when I was doing intuition training. The pendulum. And I think it works really well. Does the pendulum work? It does. It is best when you want an accurate answer, a yes or no answer. You don't want the nuances, you just want the yes or no. If your pendulum stops working, it means you're ready for the next step. If your pendulum work is not working anymore, if it's not giving accurate results anymore, it means it's time for the next step. That makes a lot of sense, because my pendulum stopped working after a while, and I was frustrated because it was a good tool, and nowadays it doesn't work for me. And so, well, I haven't tried it for many years, but last time I tried it didn't work. And so, but because I could, you know, I didn't really need it, but I just like the yes or no thing, because I hardly ever get yes or no. I get like all the nuances and all the context and all of the, you know. But yeah, that makes sense. So you know it's time to move on to using your intuition independently when your pendulum doesn't work anymore, when it doesn't give accurate results anymore. Ooh, that's interesting. That leads me to the next question, which is about oracle cards and tarot cards. Is it the same for them? Because I used to be really good at using the tarot cards. Now I can't use it at all. It's like Maybe because I don't like to use them that much, or maybe it's because I just stopped connecting with my cards. But last time I tried, it was a disaster. It just didn't say anything. It was a major downgrade from just doing readings like this, just doing the straight channeling. So I don't use the cards. I don't like to. I don't need to. But I did start that way. It was I felt it was an important stepping stone. So Oracle and Tarot cards. How do we use them? Is it the same with them? Do we move on when do they stop working after a while? Yes. Oh, the purpose is for you to get the information. If you are getting the information, why would you need the cards? If you're already getting the information, Spirit is already speaking to you. Why would you need the cards? So, when Spirit starts speaking to you directly, or when you are starting to hear Spirit speak to you, the cards will have less of a function for you. They will do less of the talking, and you will get the answer directly. That's good to know for those of you that like to use tarot cards. What is the purpose of Oracle and tarot cards? Oracle cards are a straight answer, is a full answer in each card. The tarot cards can give more complexity to the answer. What is their origin? That's what I'm thinking. What is their origin? The initiation process. Oh, the initiation process. The steps in life that you must go through. We are all somewhere along the steps of the tarot. We can all identify with any particular card at any particular time in our life. Sometimes we embody a card just for the day or just for a moment. But whatever human condition you are experiencing, it's reflected in some card in the tarot. But also for those that understand, there's also a spiritual teaching, a remedy through the card. It explains the condition, but also gives the remedy for those that are able to see it. The brilliance of the card is that, just like your religious texts, it will meet you at your level. You will understand only to the extent that you are spiritually developed and willing to develop. The more spiritually developed you are, the more you are able to perceive spiritually, the more you will understand of the cards, just like it is with any religious text. The greater your own awareness, the greater your ability to get more understanding from them. And so they embody different archetypes and conditions on our path as humans. They can be used for different purposes. Even when you use it for divination, for psychic readings, there is a spiritual development taking place. There is an enlightenment taking place in the process. The cards come from ancient mystical schools, and so carry a very high spiritual integrity that has been preserved for all these years. It has been able to be preserved because not everybody is able to perceive their message, and so they are allowed to remain, just like some of your symbols remain because not all of you understand it. That is how they get to be kept a secret, although they are in plain sight, because not everybody understands it. Just like the symbol of the eye that you as a channel felt you needed to wear today, it has been preserved because not everybody understands it. Wow, okay. I feel like that maybe opened up more questions than it did answers, but I don't know what to answer from there. I feel a little bit taken aback a little bit, I think. But yeah, I did feel really called to wear the eye today. Really, really called. I felt like in some way I have to wear the eye, and it is an ancient symbol. To me, although it's said to represent protection against the evil eye in Turkey and in Greece and in some other cultures as well, to me, from what I received from channeling, it represents the power of your perspective. It's the I am God. I am I am my surrounding. I am the creator of anything that I experience. And so the protective aspect is that it all comes from me. If I fear other people, then I am creating external threats. If I know that external threats are me in another form, they cannot harm me. To me, this is a reminder of it all being me, I. It is all I. I'm creating it. What am I giving my visual attention to? What am I choosing to see? How am I choosing to interpret what I see? And we are done with the questions, so I can have this little conversation. But yesterday, I was wanting to do this video. I was unable to, and that got me into some negative thinking that I wanted to do this video. I wasn't able to. I did not have, it wasn't in my power to do the video because my health was not where it needed to be. So my thinking got bad, and then I saw the little energy that I had just drained out of me. And by the end of the day, when I felt like, okay, I've been in bed all day, by the end of the day, I felt, you know what? I may not be aware of it, but it's definitely a struggle to stay positive when, you know, you're not able to do the things you want to do and you're physically not in a good state. But then I was like, you know, this is the things that Spirit has been talking to me about. Maintaining a, you know, I might be physically incapable on a particular day, but what am I doing mentally? Um, am I creating a story around how this sucks? Or am I thinking thoughts of gratitude and acceptance, humility? I wasn't doing that yesterday. Um, so that for me is a good reminder, but I also feel like since it came to me, it's probably because it needs to reach some of you. So I know that there is someone out there who feels, who knows, who can feel that this speaks to them specifically, that we don't usually notice when we are thinking negative thoughts. But I could notice that just by not being able to do what I decided I wanted to do, instead of saying, okay, so today wasn't the day, or, you know, this is what's best for now, or I trust the universe, I trust life, I trust spirit. Instead of doing that, I was feeling like there was something wrong. I felt powerless. I felt sad. I felt alone and upset. Um, that was a choice I made. That was a choice that I made, and it became my reality. I felt like that is the only way to see it, but it did not serve me. It didn't serve me. So um, I also wanted you to understand that I am 100% human. I mean, I have access to this guidance, but it really takes a while for it to really marinate, and it takes you know, I have to repeat things and I have to practice things. Yeah. So that's my learning from yesterday, and I am hoping, you know, today is different, obviously. So after having that inner monologue yesterday, I decided today I will be grateful. I will be in gratitude instead of thinking negative thoughts. And you know what? It's not the end of the world if I don't get to do the video. I'm glad if I can. If I'm not able to, then I'm not able to. Not everything is in my control. Not everything is in my power. And I have to make peace with that. And it's important for me to have, you know, mentally feel good. Even if my body isn't in the best shape, I need to feel mentally happy. I need to feel mentally grateful and humble. And so, yeah, it's a good reminder for me. And I know that some of you needed to hear that as well, because you might relate. Maybe it was exactly yesterday that you felt the same, or maybe it's today that you feel the exact same way. So just a reminder that even when it's hard, do maintain gratitude, because your thoughts do materialize. It really does materialize. Believe in your power. Test it. It's very important that no matter what your circumstances are, that we find humility and gratitude, even if things are hard. Thank you. Much love. Keep the questions coming. I did get a lot of good questions, and really looking forward to more of them. Let me know what you thought. It's my energy is not where it should be, but I do try not to make it show. I try not, try for you not to see it that way. I did my best. But I love you guys. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for the positive comments. Thank you for the appreciation. Thank you for being a part of this. I love you guys so much. You bring so much to my life. You mean a lot to me. And, I make a real effort to be here and do this. So thank you for everything. Bye.